Good morning, I'm Robert Glenn Ketchum, and I'm here at G2 Gallery for a display of my work. I work with photography, but I work with photography in many forms. Part of my work, probably the best known in North America, is work I do on behalf of conservation advocacy. And I've been involved in many projects like the Tongass Rainforest Campaign and now currently the Bristol Bay Salmon Fishery Campaign, where I use my work to protect habitat and natural wildness. Even though I do the more traditional work because of my political advocacy, I've continued to explore the darkroom just as a fantastic place. And when it went digital, it opened up a whole other realm of possibilities. There's so many more possibilities in the digital darkroom. The pieces that you have on the wall here, which represent this 18-panel suite, started from a portion of a positive 4x5 film that I shot back in the late 70s probably in New England, and I cut a long, narrow, vertical strip out of it and then began repeating the leaves as a motif, as a repeat, sort of homage to Andy Warhol's camouflage patterns. This is the original image right here, and it was this strip of leaves right here, which is unaltered and in the actual color that it is in the photograph. There's no alterations. And the first flip begins the alteration process, and then with each successive flip, the alteration process becomes more complex. So there's hundreds of layers, probably approaching 1,000 in this piece alone. A lot of things have appeared in this that weren't in the other panel, and the most obvious things are these heart shapes and these butterfly shapes. But in fact, the heart shapes were in the other panel. They just weren't as visible because they were hidden under the colors of the leaves. And then as we get over into here, into these leaves, you can see that I'm using various digital darkroom morphing techniques, where these are the leaves that we've been looking at through now 12 repeats, but they're starting to take on marbled effects and shape effects that don't look at all like the original grouping of leaves. So this is the last of the 18 panels that I've developed so far, and this is called Confused by Butterflies. Lots and lots of butterfly play, little ones, big ones, all kinds of different wing shapes. Here's a negative space one right here, this black one. I always love the photographic image, but it's a very industrial, smooth surface. And it represents texture very well, but it doesn't have any texture to it. And I thought, wouldn't it be amazing if you could create a photographically perfect, so that the illusion of the photograph was there, but a photographically perfect textile. And eventually it was suggested to me that perhaps a process like embroidery would be more appropriate to what I needed because there was so much more detail orientation. This is a double-sided embroidery. It's seamless. It's perfect on both sides. There's no tie-offs or knots that are visible. Most of my well-known work in North America is very much like Elliot Porter's. It's grounded in the American landscape. It is, I work in color. It's intended to define places that the public may not be completely aware of. And in fact, in terms of conservation advocacy, it's designed to defend those places so that they remain wild, intact habitats.